From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Grumpy's studio, we bring you the pride of this station. The grumpy old man, me, and the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take your bow? Take your bow. Very nice, very nice. Okay, back in your corner. There you go. Look at the camera. All right. Greetings, friends. Man, what an interesting day. First off, this morning, I do my normal check, 67 subscribers. Oh, Grumpy's happy. Just before airtime, 68 subscribers. Holy yetchapuck. I'll tell you what. The way we're growing, I am hoping by the end of February that we could hit 100. Now, if we get to like 75, Grumpy will be extremely happy. But if we hit 100 by the end of the month, I think I'll shit myself. That's a scary thought. I am shocked. I am just shocked because I was dormant at 55 for several months. And I just kind of gave up. I was like, okay, 55, hey, because I was dormant at 30 for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what my good friend over across the pond has done. We are growing by leaps and bounds. And I'll tell you what, buddy, whatever you're doing, it is greatly appreciated. Even the bird is happy. And that's a rarity. The only time he's happy is like if he gets fresh roadkill. And with the weather we've been having here, it would take a week to thought. Oh my God. This morning, I look and the temperature was 10 degrees. I'm like, oh, Jesus. And we're supposed to be going single digits. But, unbelievable. Yesterday, I forgot to shut off one of the items inside my truck. Now, I've got a unit that has got a memory. And the memory sometimes drains the battery. I get in the truck today and I was like, oh no. I forgot to disconnect this extra unit that I've got. I hit the key. The engine does like 2 2 revolutions and fires. One of these days, I'm going to show you a picture because a lot of my subscribers have no idea what this truck looks like. I mean, it's a 97 Nissan pickup that literally every time I shut the door, another piece of the body falls off. Really. Right now, I have no floor in the bed. None. It's just cross members. I have a piece of plywood covering up the big giant hole. The quarter panels are held together with a ratchet strap to keep the tailgate from falling off the truck. That's how rotten this truck is. I gotta tell you, out of all the vehicles I've owned, this is the most reliable truck ever. And I'll tell you what, I had some pretty nice Ford Rangers. My last Ford Ranger, if the temperature was going to get down below 30, I had to put a trickle charger on it or the battery go dead. I buy a new battery every single fall. I have a friend that owns a battery, not a store. It's more like a warehouse. He does do retail, but most of his is wholesale. And most of his sales are these big monster batteries for these forklift trucks. He sells batteries that he buys up that are basically past the sell-by date. They are brand new. But a store like Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone or O'Reilly's, they can't sell them because they're past the date. But these are brand new batteries. I buy them for like $30. He gives you a 1-year warranty. Now, he's like grumpy. Why do you keep buying a brand new battery every year? I said 2 reasons. First of all, they're very inexpensive. Because a brand new battery averages about $100. I said, second of all, with all my medical appointments, I need a reliable battery that's going to start my vehicle no matter what the weather. So I said to him, what are you complaining about? I'm buying a brand new battery every year. He was like, but what you're trading in is like almost brand new. I said, don't argue with me. Now, I've been going to this battery sales place since his father opened it back in 1980. Unfortunately, his father had a sudden heart attack and passed. The son took over the business, and I'll tell you what, he sells all kinds of batteries, like for my Ryobi drills, the 18 volts, and batteries for RC vehicles, his son, take that back, stop. His cousin races RC cars. So he stocks a shitload of these RC batteries, and the club buys from him. But his main business is these big-ass batteries for these forklifts. So, don't you dare. Look at... Unbelievable. This damn tablet, it's sitting over here on the edge of the console. Nobody's near it. It starts playing the intro. It's haunted. I've got to get a voodoo witch doctor to come in here and put a spell on the son of a bitch. Jeez. Okay. We're done talking about the shitbox. This morning, I told you people, I told you yesterday, I've got 5 emails from JDM Sales. First one is this guy must have taken 100 pictures. There are pictures of every little square inch of this mini truck. Then he sends me 2 videos. One, cold start. That's all it was. It was a 5-minute cold start warm-up. Second video, driving around in a circle. Third video, inside with a camera, driving through the complex where he has his sales yard. Going through the gears, pulls out onto the main drag, gets it up into 5th, doing about 50 miles an hour. Comes back to the yard and puts it in this creeper gear. Puts it in gear, lets out the clutch, opens the door, steps out. And he's walking alongside of it. Video number 5, or email number 5. He tells me he has contacted 4 other transport companies to get basically rates with other vehicles coming this way. And it was broken down like the truck would have 2 vehicles headed towards Ohio, 3 vehicles, 4, 5, all the discounts. I'm like, oh my God, how can I tell this guy I can't buy the truck? And I know he's sitting out there in California going, I'm going to sell this truck. I'm going to sell this truck. Then at the end of email number 5, you are still the only person that has showed interest in this vehicle. Oh, make Grumpy feel like an asshole now. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I did not email them back today because I'm trying to think of an easy way of letting this guy down because I know he's cranked. He's like, I'm going to sell this truck. I'm going to hook that guy. I'm waving the bait in front of him. He's going to take that hook. No, I'm not. I I can't afford it. It's not, well, I could afford it if I could get a loan. I can't get a loan, so I can't afford it. I'm sitting today, getting ready for the show, thinking, why the hell did I start teasing myself with this goddamn truck, knowing there is no way I can purchase it? I put myself in these situations, and I got to try to figure out how to let this guy down easy. Like maybe I've run into a situation and I got to kind of put it on the back burner for a while. But then it'll be my luck. He'll email back and say, okay, I'll hold it for you. Oh. Okay, enough about the mini truck. Today, I got delivery of my smart home video doorbell. I've been wanting to get one of these, but Ring doorbells on Amazon are between $80 and $100. Not to mention, they do not come with a monitor. They come with an app for your cell phone. And you know what I think of apps. So I find this smart home video doorbell. Okay. It is not this doorbell. No, it's not that doorbell. Okay. Here is the doorbell with camera and microphone. Very nice, compact little unit. Then it comes with a monitor, not an app. Okay, here we go. I'll show you how crystal clear this monitor is. Crystal clear. This unit on my favorite place, Temu.com, $24.95 and free shipping. Ring doorbell, $100 with an app for your cell phone. Now, people are going to say, Grumpy, if you're not home, how are you going to know somebody is ringing your doorbell? Because with an app for your cell phone, if you're at the grocery store, you can answer the door and say, I'm taking a shit right now. Leave the package outside. Okay. I did not want an app. I wanted something with a monitor. Now this is an LCD, very crystal clear, with a memory card. Came with it. Ring doorbell, you have to buy a memory card. Now, memory cards are cheap. So that's not a plus or a minus when it comes to buying the doorbell. It's that I did not want an app because I'm home most of the time. And if somebody rings the doorbell and I'm not home, it's going to record who it is, even though I can't answer it with my cell phone. The complete kit, under $30. The problem with Ring doorbell is you're paying for the name. And they have been around for so long that when somebody wants a video doorbell, the first thing they're going to think of is, oh, Ring doorbell. Even though this is basically a generic. For $30, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to install it tomorrow. It just got here about an hour ago. Wireless. I already hooked the Wi-Fi up. It was 30 seconds and I had it programmed. And people say, oh, Temu sells Chinese junk. Well, this is made in China. But I'll tell you what, it's got some high quality to it. Whatever company in China that made this had some wonderful quality control. So if you're looking for a Ring doorbell with a video monitor and not an app, go on Temu.com and check them out. They carry 10 different varieties. I bought the cheapest one because I'm, cheap. But for $30, I'm going to be extremely happy with this doorbell. So if you're looking for a doorbell that has a video monitor, like a baby monitor, basically, go on Temu and check them out. Because, like I say, with Ring, you're paying for the name. Yeah, it's got cloud storage and all that other bullshit. Not everybody needs all that crap. I just wanted a basic monitor type doorbell where if I'm working here in the studio and I get a delivery, I can see who it is and I can talk to them. Because two-way communication. This monitor has a microphone built into it. I can have it sitting here on the console. Doorbell rings. I look at it and go, I'm busy right now. Just leave the package outside the door. Thank you. And the delivery man will say, okay. If it gets stolen, it's your fault. Grumpy's latest purchase. I'll tell you what. I bought quite a few things off of Temu. Now, in the beginning, a couple of years ago, their stuff was a tad questionable. But in the last 2 years, the quality of their items has really, really gotten way better. Same thing with my self-stirring mug. I use the hell out of this thing. Matter of fact, I have yet to have to recharge it. And I got this thing 2 weeks ago, and I just cleaned it because it's getting put away for the night. I have my cup of coffee, but I use this thing all day long. And the neat thing is, there's the stirrer. Now, I ordered a replacement, and it looks like a fan blade. They say it actually mixes better. I should have it next week. I bought 4 of them. Little fan blades instead of the little single spinner. And it's held in there magnetically. Works like crazy. I'll tell you what. I throw my sugar in there. I put it up in my Keurig machine. Hit the start button. I get my coffee. I add my creamer. Push the button. Pre-mixed by the time I sit down at the console. Saves Grumpy that carpal tunnel stirring shit, you know? Yeah, like I'm going to get carpal tunnel from stirring a cup of coffee, but a gimmick. But a good gimmick. And a quality gimmick. I'll tell you what. This thing keeps a cup of coffee hot. It's well insulated. $5. There are some websites that are selling the exact same cup because the lettering is identical. They're getting between $12 and $15 for the same mug. Temu, it was $4.97 plus tax. Same cup. And they are not sponsoring me. Ugh. God, I do enough advertising for them, for God's sake. I was watching some of the news stories today about the Delta jet that landed on its roof yesterday. So far, they think, now, they haven't got all the information together yet, but what they think, as the jet went to touchdown, there was a wind shear. And that's what caused it. If you watch the latest videos, as it touched down, you can see the wing dip, and then it went over. They also think there's a possibility that the landing gear collapsed. Like you say, this is just their visual observation. So it was either a wind shear that caused the plane to tilt and the wing hit the ground, or a landing gear let go. The wonderful thing is, no fatalities. Now, there is a young child that got pretty seriously injured from bouncing around inside the plane, and there are 18 other people that have a variety of injuries. They interviewed one guy yesterday. He had a pretty nasty knot on his head and a gash in the back. But for the way that plane flipped and then caught fire, not to have a fatality is outstanding. I think the pilots and the flight crew, they deserve a commendation, because once that jet finally came to a stop, the flight attendants jumped into action, getting people down off the ceiling and getting them out of the plane. And even the passengers worked together, because the one video showing the flight attendant helping the passengers out, and then a couple of passengers helping people down to the ground. Talk about everybody that was basically in the mode of rescue and exit. Outstanding. Really was. Between the flight attendants, the pilot, the co-pilot, and the passengers, everybody worked together. And it was basically like, let's get the hell out of this tin can. Like I say, there were a couple of seriously injured passengers, but no fatalities. And that's what counts. Because this is the second RJ to crash. You know, we had the one in Washington, D.C., and now this one. People are like, oh, I'm not flying that plane. Well, we know in Washington the chopper was a little too high and clipped that RJ. Yesterday, it was either a wind shear or a collapsed landing gear. Either way, no fatalities. And I credit the Pearson Airport fire crew for getting right out there. Man, they were rolling before that jet stopped moving. And another thing, what people don't know, there was a medevac helicopter that had just taken off. And when they heard what happened, they radioed to their command and said, hey, we want to go back there right now. And command said, go. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. It was like all the pieces of the puzzle fell together. But there's, you know, between a couple weeks ago when they had that collapsed landing gear up at Pearson, I want to say there were two incidents. They had the one plane with the collapsed landing gear, and I think they had another one where a private jet went off the runway. I'm pretty sure that was at Pearson too. And then the one in Alaska where 10 people got killed. I mean, too many plane crashes all at once. I don't fly. I told you yesterday, once, that was enough. Flying is still safe. It's safer than you driving your car. But when you've got incidents within a month, it shakes people up. Just saying. I would be one of the last ones to get on a plane right now, I'll tell you that. But it's still one of the safest modes of transportation. Because when you take a look, we haven't really had a major incident since, like, I want to say 2014, when that plane went down in Buffalo. And that was basically due to a way overtired crew, because neither one of them pilots got more than a couple hours sleep. And like the co-pilot was seen sleeping in a pilot's galley at the airport, and even the pilot was napping, Those two, technically, should not have flown that plane. The co-pilot was sick. She was fighting a cold. Neither one of them got enough rest. Not to mention, they were chattering back and forth. They have that rule called sterile cabin. But these two, the whole flight, they were yak, 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 yak. And then, the guy's a seasoned pilot, okay? The plane goes into a stall. Now, even I know, when a plane goes into a stall, you dive. You want to pick up airspeed to get it under the wings for lift. No, what did he do? He pulled back on the stick. So the plane's in a stall, he puts it in worse stall. The plane goes straight up and then comes right down. That's being overtired and not in control of your faculties. The report came back. It was pilot error that called that back in, I think it was 2014. Don't quote me. But it's just 10 years, 11 years with no major incidents. Now, yeah, we've had some near misses, and that's a topic for another show. I'll tell you one thing. I would not want to be an air traffic controller. Seeing what they go through, I don't know how they keep their faculties. I really don't. I don't know how they keep their faculties. Not a job for Grumpy. I have a hard enough time keeping my faculties doing a show. Getting back to my 68 subscribers, I almost fell out of my chair. Now this morning, I check every morning. 67. Oh, I was elated. I called the CEO. I said, hey, guess what? He said, you're resigning? I said, kiss my ass, asshole. I said, no. I'm going from 55 to 67 subscribers. Here's how much the CEO pays attention. He goes, what are you selling? I said, what do you mean, what am I selling? He says, well, people are buying subscriptions. What are you selling? Magazines, encyclopedias? I hung up on him. He called back. He goes, we lost our connection. What are you selling? I said, I'm not selling anything. I says, it's loyal followers to Grumpy's show. He said, yeah, but what are you selling? I said, go back to buffing the fenders on your Rolls Royce. I'll talk to you later. Yep, we got a CEO that basically, he don't realize what subscribers are. But Grumpy, oh. And then, I don't know why I looked. I really don't. I get ready to prep for the show, and I was like, oh, let me check something. I popped open YouTube, and I went, holy shit. I picked up another subscriber during the day. I wanted to run down the hall like a little kid. Hey! I just danced around in the studio with the door shut. And then the bird was looking at me like, oh, God, I've got to work with this idiot. Uh-oh. He kind of crouched his head down under his wing and went, I'm staying out of his way. But, oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. Whatever you are doing across the pond, first of all, keep it up. And second of all, you are amazing. You really are. You're amazing. To go that rapid with subscribers is unbelievable. It's like a ticker tape. Like, whoa! I think if I opened it up in the morning and it said 70, I'd fall out of the chair and break my hip. Nah, I better not do that. Forget that idea. I'm going to put a seatbelt on the chair so I don't fall out. Didn't I like this? Yeah, it was unbelievable. This morning, 67. Before airtime, 68. I was like, oh my God. This is unreal. And it's all coming from across the pond, people. Any of you out there that are listening or going to be listening later on, I have a wizard over in England that has got me subscribers like people playing the lottery. It's unbelievable. It's to the point where I really, really want to do a show every night. You know, for a while there, it was like, gee, I'm talking to myself. I had to force myself. the last several days, I cannot wait to get here in the studio and prep for a stream. I just wish I knew how to work this damn software where I could show a video or have a panel. I'm too old for that shit. Of course, like my buddy said, I'll send my 5-year-old grandson over to help you. Yeah. But you know, there's a lot of truth in that. These kids today, it's like they come out of the womb with a cell phone in their hand. I watched my neighbor's 7-year-old granddaughter negotiate an iPad like she was Steve Jobs' kid. I'm like, what are you doing? She was playing a game and sending an email and chatting with somebody all at the same time. She had more screens open than my house in the summer. Unbelievable. But see, like the school she goes to, they have to have a tablet. Like back in the day, we would get a list from our teacher. Box of crayons, some oilcloth for the desk to keep, protect it, watercolors, pencil sharpener, so many pencils. Not today. They go to school and they come home with their list. Tablet. Maybe some pencils and pens. Tablet. I never thought I would see the day come where kids would need a tablet instead of school supplies. But that's the way it is. That's technology today. Also, speaking of technology, I think I told you, my buddy sent me this is a retractable fountain pen. Yeah. Not like back in the day where, you had to dip it in a damn bottle of ink and fill it. No, you pop a refill in and it's retractable. I'm trying to get the tip where you can see it. It's a retractable fountain pen. I love it. I have gone back. As a matter of fact, I liked it so much, I bought 2 more. I've got 1 red, 1 black, and then 1 green, because Grumpy likes his green. These things, they write like gel pens. Amazing. Who would have thought back in the day, when I was in grade school, they would come up with a retractable fountain pen? Back in the day, we had the one you took the top off and then you popped the top back on. Now, it came with this little clear, I keep it on there just for safety's sake. Unbelievable. Retractable fountain pen. I have gone back to writing with fountain pens because, like I say, they write like gel pens. You don't have to worry about ink blobs. I even shook the shit out of this thing, trying to get ink to splash out of it. Nope. Unbelievable. I love them. Another gimmick, like Grumpy needed 3. But I was so impressed with it, I bought 2 more. That way I have them in colors. And like my neighbor said, why do you need colors? Because I want colors. That's why. 1 red, 1 black, 1 green. And I might buy a couple more. You know, I need a blue one, maybe a purple one. Okay, Grumpy, you're going overboard. But I am a retractable fountain pen. Whoever invented it, he gets my stamp of approval, I'll tell you that. And they're only like $3. Amazing. A retractable fountain pen. Like I say, technology. And every day, something new comes out. You can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with technology. Just like a friend of mine is shopping for a smart TV. If you go to like Walmart or any place that sells TVs, the prices have really dropped on the smaller ones, like the 40 inches and the 50 inches. 3-4 years ago, my 50-inch Samsung was selling for $400. I got it at Walmart for $119. And that's the everyday price. Because, of course, they're pushing the big ones now. 80-inch, 100-inch, 120-inch. Yeah, those are pricey. But when you get down to the 50s and the 40s and even the 30s, which who would want a 30-incher? All right, maybe a college kid in a dorm, you know. But a friend of mine, they're in the market for a new TV. They don't want anything bigger than like a 40 or 43. Now, they bought 5 years ago a 35-inch. They want something just a little bigger. That 35-inch 5 years ago was $500. Today, that same TV is $98. But of course, for 2 reasons. One, people want them big monsters now. You know, it's let's impress the neighbor. You know, Fred's got an 80-inch. We're going to buy 110. Nobody wants the smaller TVs, so they got to get rid of them. And they've reduced, oh my God, the price reductions are unbelievable on flat screen TVs. Anything 50-inch and down, the prices have dropped remarkably. It's unbelievable. When I was looking at TVs at Walmart, I couldn't believe the prices. Matter of fact, I said to the kid that was working in the TV department, the electronics department, I said, are these all on sale? He said, no, that's our regular price. I said, really? I said, good, give me that Samsung. I'll take it. And I know you're tired of hearing it. I am amazed at that TV. The colors are so vibrant. It's unbelievable. Like I told you when I first got it set up, I was watching a National Geographic. It was over in Africa, nature program. And there was this big waterfall. And it was so realistic. I looked over the edge of my bed to make sure there wasn't water on my carpeting. That's how realistic this screen is. It's that liquid crystal display. But all these TVs today are unbelievable. You basically have a theater quality TV set. You can tell I'm showing my age. Flat screen. You got theater quality, something that you would go to a theater, watch a movie. You've got that quality in your home today. I am just utterly amazed at how rapid technology is advancing. Same thing with rocket launches. Who would think that now, when they launch a rocket, that booster, when it separates, would come back down and land itself about a quarter mile from where it took off. They have the launch zone and a landing zone. And the thing that amazed me was as this booster was returning down to land, it was like a giant set of hot dog tongs grabbed this thing and set it down. Yeah, you saw these two big, they look like oven mitts. Two big oven mitts. Here comes the booster, and these oven mitts grabbed it and stopped it and set it down. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And you know, many people can't stand Elon because he is an arrogant son of a bitch. But I'll tell you what, he hires some of the best people on earth to design and fabricate all this stuff that they're using today. Not to mention, you know, his cars, his Teslas. I read an article recently where they literally have reduced the size of the wiring harnesses. They've got wiring harnesses that are ultra thin, carrying up to 800 volts. Unreal. And a lot of it has to do with weight saving. The less, the less wire, the lighter the car is. How his designers and engineers come up with this stuff is unbelievable. Now, I can't stand Teslas because it's not so much the car. It's that the American electrical grid cannot handle all of these electric cars. They have not updated the electrical grid in my area since the 70s. We cannot handle a shitload of electric cars charging because the grid won't handle it. And, they keep pushing. Green, green, green. We got to go green. Well, yeah, you can go green. Everybody going to plug their car in at night. And then we're going to be like California. They have brownouts because they got so many tree huggers out there with their electric cars that in certain areas, when everybody charges at night, they get a brownout. It's because the grid can't handle it. I got a neighbor. I could almost throw a rock and hit his Tesla. Every night, out comes the extension cord, and he plugs it in. See, he can't get. He's in a bit of a war with the city because they won't grant him a permit to put in this supercharger. Mainly because his house has not been upgraded. See, you got to come in and you got to put in a new breaker box and all kinds of bullshit. Well, he can't get a permit. So he's working off, 110 volt extension cord. We're not ready for all this shit. We really aren't. Although there is a used car lot up the street from me that has 5 Cybertrucks. I stopped to look at one the other day. Those are the wildest looking goddamn things. If they weren't electric, I'd love to have one. But he's got 5 of them. And I don't know if they're pre-sold or what the story is. But those are like I say, if it wasn't electric, I would want one. Because I'm into that crazy flat. Yeah. I don't know how they can say they're aerodynamic. But they are weird looking. They really are. The only thing that I could never get used to, in the middle of the dashboard is a monitor. You don't have a speedometer in front of you. No. It's in the middle of the dashboard. That would drive me fucking crazy. But that's technology. Although, I'll tell you what, there is one electric car that I would love to own. Not the car, the truck, the Rivian. I love those oblong headlights. The front of that thing is the neatest looking thing to me. And I'll tell you what, very attractive design on that vehicle. On the way to my doctor, there are 3 of them parked on the corner of this. I think they're going to open a car lot, a Rivian sales place, because the way they're parked. Two pickup trucks and a station wagon. Gorgeous vehicles. Absolutely. Electric or not, I would love to own one. But at $100,000, I can't come up with $4,000 for a Japanese mini truck. Well, it's 5 with shipping. Actually, we're up to like almost 6. Because you got shipping and then sales tax and transfer fees. Almost $6,000. I don't know why I keep teasing myself. Oh, God. And I know, first thing in the morning, there'll probably be 4 or 5 more emails. Because this guy thinks he's got Grumpy hooked. But I'll tell you, one hell of a salesman. Because he won't give up. He won't give up. And he's going about it somewhat on the low end. He's not getting pushy. I mean, I'm not getting emails where you gotta buy this thing right now. He's softening me up, you know, like lamb to the slaughter, you know. Getting them lambs ready, sending them down the chute, you know. Yeah. Grumpy is a lamb to the slaughter. Yeah. I couldn't believe it this morning when I saw them emails. I was like, oh, geez. And then, you know, the walk-around video and then the driving video. Going through the gears. I'm sitting there like I'm driving it because I think he had a GoPro either mounted to his chest or on a hat. Driving away, shifting through the gears. I was like, oh, Jesus. Of course, my neighbor told me, she said, delete them videos. Yeah, I should. But I watched them about 5 times today. I was like, oh. Then I closed the email. Then about an hour later, I'd be like, oh, I got to watch that again. You know? The guy knows how to hook a customer. He really does. It's like he's got a fishing pole and he's waving that bait in front of me, waiting for me to snap. And then, whack! Got him! I don't have the heart, not quite yet, to email him and say I can't afford it. And of course, you know, it's the only two-tone, and it's green, and it's cheap. Because the rest of the trucks are $6,000 and up. So he keeps waving that red flag in front of Grumpy. Damn it. of all times to have a credit rating in the sewer. The bird's got a better credit rating than I do. That's sad. That's really sad. To be this age, work my ass off. Although, I should have listened. I had that, how you got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. And I had that little angel going, don't do it, Grumpy. Don't co-sign. And then I had that little devil going, but he's your good buddy. He won't fuck you. And the little angel kept going, yes, he will. No, he won't. Yes, he will. No, he won't. Yes, he will. No, he won't. 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 And then Grumpy was like, okay, I'll sign. And then for 2 years, I had no worries. And then he loses his job. Does he call me and say, oh, no? Matter of fact, I had talked to him and I said, how's things going? Oh, no problem, man. Going great. When things were going great, he was already 4 payments behind. And then the bank calls me. Mr. Grumpy, yes? When are we going to get a payment? Why are you calling me? Well, you're the co-signer. Yeah, I know. Why are you calling me? You're the co-signer. I know. Why are you calling me? Because we haven't had a payment in 4 months, Mr. Grumpy. What? I'll call you right back. And I call my buddy. Buddy. Good friend. I says, hey, how's it going? Great. How's the car? Great. What do you need? Well, now, I already knew it had already been picked up, gone to the repo auction. I need a favor. Sure, Grumpy. What do you need? I need to run out to the pharmacy to get my medication, and my truck is broke down. Can you run me out there? Well, I'm in the middle of something right now. Well, we don't have to go right this minute. Okay, I'll call you back. All right, bye. Did I ever hear back from him? No! Because he didn't have a car to pick Grumpy up. And I knew it. I haven't heard from him since. I give up. I was calling him. I was texting him. I was like, fuck it. He stuck it in my ass. I'll get me some Preparation H and try to get my ass back together. And in the meantime, I now have no credit. Which, it bothered me. Believe me. But I figured I'll work something out. Then comes a green and white 1991 Subaru Sandbar. and I can't work anything out. That's enough. The vein in my head is starting to pop out. I've got time to chill back, Grumpy. Take a couple of deep breaths. Have a cigarette. Okay, I will. Calm down. Okay, I will. Are you calm yet, Grumpy? No, but I'll get there. No, I'm not calm yet. I don't know why I have this vein that goes right up the middle of my head. Look at that. Right up the middle of my head. It's like somebody took a Sawzall. That's almost as bad as the video I watched today. Oh, jeez. You know, YouTube has everything. YouTube is basically the video form of Gargle. Today, tell you how sick I am. I watched surgery. Now, I've watched many different surgery videos, okay? You know what today's video was? A leg amputation. Holy yutchafuck. And then, you think the doctor would use a power saw? No. He used something I never heard of. He used a giggly. Yeah, a giggly. You know what a giggly is? It's like a big string. And he was like this. Yeah, instead of using a power saw, he used this long metal, he called it a giggly. And here he is in the operating room going, and then the leg and the foot come off. And he picked it up and he handed it to his assistant and said, "Here, take this." And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. He passed it like, you know, Thanksgiving turkey. Here, have a leg. Okay. What do you want me to do with it? Oh, take it to the lab. Okay. And the guy was carrying it in a towel. A foot and part of a leg. I was like, Grumpy. Yeah, a giggly. I looked it up. It was invented by a guy named Giggly. Yeah, it's like a string saw. A metal string saw. In today's advanced technology, you would think this surgeon would use a bone saw. No. He used a giggly. Talk about a sick son of a bitch. Then he turns to the camera because they were filming this. And he goes, the reason I use the Giggly is it's faster and more efficient. It's more efficient than a power saw? I don't think so. But like he said, using a Giggly, he didn't have to take a scalpel and cut through the skin and the muscle and everything. No. Because the Giggly does it all. He looked like a squirrel burying a nut. And then I had to gargle what a Giggly was. And it was invented by Dr. Giggly. I discovered there's a lot of medical instruments named after doctors who invented them. I watched a back surgery video, and he was like, okay, I need a Simpson. And by the way, give me a Thompson number 3. And I was like, what? Oh yeah, surgical instruments are called by the names of the people that invented them. Like Dr. Mercy went, all right, we're all going to giggle. No. A Giggly. It's nothing more than like a very thin, flexible saw blade. A Giggly. I bet the patient wasn't giggling, although he was asleep. Didn't I like this? Damn cigarette. Getting worse. Yeah, a Giggly. A Giggly. Of all the names for this doctor, he couldn't have been Dr. Harmon or Dr. Thompson or Dr. Williams. Now I could see, nurse, give me a Williams, please. That sounds a little better. Or give me a Thompson. No. I almost shit myself when he went, nurse, let me have the Giggly. And for a minute I thought he wanted everybody to giggle, Okay, time to giggle. We're going to cut this guy's leg off. Let's all giggle. Oh. No, a Giggly. And then, when they put everything back together, oh my God. And tell you how sick I am, I watched the whole video. After they used the Giggly, I know how they reconstruct everything. And then, it gets better. After they use the Giggly, then they have a procedure to close called a fish flap. I'm like, are we doing surgery here or what? Yeah. He's talking, He goes, we're going to close this with a fish flap. And I'm thinking, you're going to sew a fish to this guy's... It's a certain procedure to close the wound. A fish flap. I could see the patient explaining to his family. Well, the doctor said they giggled and then they did a fish. They flapped me with a fish. I see all the family going, what? Well, that's what the doctor said. They were giggling when they flapped me with a fish. Modern science. A giggly and a fish flap. I'm going to stop watching medical videos. I'm going to stick to police interrogations. At least we don't have gigglies. Oh, man. I almost lost it. Nurse, can I have a giggly, please? I was waiting for everybody to giggle in the operating room. Can we giggle? Yes. I'm losing it. I think the guy with the Japanese mini truck has sent me over the edge. Tomorrow will be installation of the Ring camera. Well, it's not a Ring. No, it's a smart home video doorbell. There ain't nothing to... It's got a little piece of plastic that you screw to either the door or the house, or and then you just snap the doorbell in, and then the monitor has got a little foot. I can either set it on the desk, or it has a little mounting plate, and I could mount it on the wall. Not much to it, and it's all rechargeable. No batteries that I have to change. Just pop the doorbell unit off, plug it in, charge it up, pop it back on. I can either charge up the monitor, or I can leave it plugged into USB all day long, all night long, whatever. Yeah. For $30, it beats buying the Ring doorbell, because that's what you're paying for. When I was researching these video doorbells, the article even said, when it comes to a video doorbell, the first thing that comes to mind is Ring. And that's why they sell a goddamn gazillion of them. Because they don't call them video doorbells. Pay attention. Like, even watching a police, interrogation. First thing they don't say, oh, we have 27 different views from a video doorbell. No, they say we have 27 different views from a Ring doorbell, whether it's a Ring or not. Grumpy don't buy by name. I buy basically by what I find reasonable. And why should I pay $100 when the only way I could view who's outside my door is with an app? I don't want an app. I want a video screen. Ring doorbell, app. Temu Video Smart Home Doorbell, a monitor, not an app. I hate apps. I'm going to break the microphone. And with that, let's see if the tablet is going to cooperate for our outro, or if it's going to start playing the intro again like it did. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't even close to it, and it starts playing by itself. It's haunted. Okay, here we go. Outro time. Yes, we know where. Right here, WDWL TV, Grumpy Studio. Somewhere close to 7 o'clock. I almost had it today. I almost had it. But I was so shocked when I saw 68 subscribers. It took my attention span away from starting the stream. But, friends, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. See ya.